Hello, this is Stephanie Lowe, and I'm a CBT counselor. Thank you all for being with me today. I wanted to walk you guys through some mindfulness-based cognitive behavioral therapy activities, which one can use as part of a program in your daily routine to help to minimize the symptoms and reactions to stress and anxiety in um, your daily routine. So, these stress reducing mindfulness based activities are going to be scheduled, and I'll be walking through activities you can complete in the morning all the way through until your bedtime. So, we are taking the think, act, and be approach to mindfulness. Think is the cognitively based process where we're utilizing these practices to help us become more aware of our thoughts and allowing us to challenge some of those unhelpful thoughts that might arise. Act is the behavioral portion where we are actually looking at the behaviors and trying to make sure that we're engaging in activities that are going to help us to move more towards your goals. And that may be just being more present, being more peaceful, reducing symptoms of anxiety. And finally, B comes from the mindfulness perspective of just being present in the here and the now. So let's get started with these activities. Our first activity is going to be an early morning activity, and it is titled Greeting the Self. So before you engage in any other activities, checking emails, picking up the cell phone, we actually just want to reconnect with the self. So upon waking up, and we'll practice this together right now, you actually just want to go ahead and close your eyes. And you want to observe your body in this present moment. What thoughts are arising? What emotions are present? And we're not going to try to adjust or change anything, but just become aware of where our intention and our attention lies within this moment. So again, taking deep breaths and drawing our attention to the present moment. We're now going to contemplate what we would like to see happen in the day. So for some, it's simply imagining and walking yourself through the process of waking up and getting ready and leaving home on time, having a peaceful, drive to work. The activities and people you engage with today is going to be positive and fruitful, and then coming home in the evening and relaxing with your family. So for some, it's just kind of creating that and walking through. And it may just be something simple, setting an intention for today that today I'm going to work on being more present. So you can go ahead and think about where you would like your focus to lie for the rest of the day. Our second activity is very simple, and it is a mid-morning 60-second breathing activity. So again, a very simple activity where you will just be breathing. You can set a timer quietly or watch the clock if you have a clock like this somewhere around, and you are going to sit quietly and just breathe. You're going to allow yourself slow, calm breaths. And again, just drawing your attention to any sensations that you observe within your body. And the challenge here is to simply be present and focus on counting how many breaths you take in 60 seconds. Okay, it's a very simple activity, and it's also something you can do where others may not notice that you're engaging in a mindfulness activity. You can do it during a meeting if you're noticing the anxiety levels are getting a little higher, or you have a task that you have to face today. Go ahead, take your 60-second breath, and you can repeat it as many times as you need to throughout the day. So our next activity is a lunchtime activity, and it's an excellent mindfulness practice. So again, coming to your lunchtime before you have your meal, you are going to take a seat and you're going to begin with 3 grounding breaths. So that's very slowly taking a breath in and feeling the breath expand, and then very slowly exhaling and releasing all of the air. And I like to engage the diaphragm with those breaths. So you can think of drawing the tummy or the belly button in towards the spine and just fully releasing the breath. So you'll take 3 grounding breaths. Again, you can practice with me now if you'd like. Deeply breathing in, drawing in all of the breath, feeling the body expand with the breath, observing a little pause, and then fully and deeply exhaling. So once you've completed those 3 deep grounding breaths, we're going to now engage in our mindfulness practice. So you'll simply take note of your environment. If there's a window, how is the weather? What's in your surroundings? Perhaps who is sitting with you right now in the area or in the room? And you can also observe the weight of your body on your chair, perhaps your feet pressing down into the floor, the positioning of your hands and arms before you're getting ready to engage in your meal. The next step is to now observe your food. So take in the aroma, take in the colors, how the food is laid on the plate. Take note of any textures or tastes as you begin to engage in your meal. And the task from here is to just simply enjoy, be present with gratitude, and enjoy your nourishing lunch break. Okay, the next activity we have is based on task completion. And for many of us who have very busy, tight schedules, a lot of responsibilities, I absolutely love this particular mindfulness activity. With some of my clients, I like to call it eating the frog. So we want to think about any large, daunting tasks that need to be accomplished today. And I would say, if possible, go ahead and choose the biggest task, the one that you've been thinking about, for the few days or weeks and pushing it off. You're going to choose that task and you're going to break it down into just minimal steps. If there was a first step that you could take to accomplishing this task, what would it be? Complete the first task and plan to take on the second task tomorrow. In this way, you are making it a lot more manageable, and you're also putting some momentum towards the task completion. You may find that after doing the first task, it doesn't feel so bad and you might be able to complete it all. But again, that's not the goal. The goal is to just break it down and just go through step by step by step over as many days as you need to get it accomplished. And sometimes I will say, for something in your mind, that activity or task can be so much worse than it actually is. And when it's done, the anxiety and peace that you feel in accomplishing the task is wonderful. So, again, that's just a way of taking some of the stress, anxiety, daunting feelings, rumination, just out of the task, and then allowing the anxiety that's there to let go, and finding peace with the thoughts and feelings that you have towards that task. Okay, our next mindfulness activity is with regards to self-care. Okay, so this activity is going to be based in planning one self-care activity for the day. You're actually going to enter it into your schedule, and it can be something small. So it may be just creating some time to sit down and mindfully enjoy a coffee or a snack. Perhaps it's just sort of, not answering the phone, not checking emails, and just sitting and enjoying a song, perhaps a song that's even related to some emotions that you're feeling today, or you're trying to move your emotions in that direction. You're just going to engage in something that feels really good for you, and you're going to designate that time to make sure that you get the task completed. Now, if you're finding this exercise a little bit challenging, what I would recommend is either just touching base with a friend, someone you care about, and ask them to make some suggestions on what might be a good self-care activity to engage in. Another thing that can help come up with some ideas is to just imagine that you are creating something special for someone that you care about, and go ahead and book it in for yourself. So that is the self-care activity. I like that. All right, so next we have the early evening progressive muscle relaxation technique. This is a great one, and we're going to just go through a couple stages of it together now. Okay, so again, you're just going to bring yourself into a comfortable position. This could be perhaps, you're getting home from work and you're just going to sit in the car for a few extra minutes and go through this. It could be something maybe after dinner and you're just trying to bring yourself into more of a state of calm. Okay, so bringing yourself into a comfortable position, you're going to take 3 deep breaths. And again, this time with the breath, we're going to breathe and take it all the way in. So nice deep breath in. And again, you're going to feel that expansion of your breath. So you observe like the rib cage lifting, creating space. And then we're going to exhale. And this time we're going to exhale to a count of 5. Okay. So breathing in deeply, feeling the expansion of the breath, and then slowly exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, breathing in slowly, drawing in as much breath as you can, feeling the expansion, that moment of pause and stillness in the body, and then fully exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go ahead and take one more breath. So breathing in very deeply. And again, feeling that expansion through the chest, the rise of the rib cage, finding that moment of stillness, and then fully exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So from here, you're going to make a fist. So you're going to tighten, squeeze, 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 and feel the tension in your fists, perhaps in the forearms, wherever you feel it, just observe. And then you're going to release. Okay, you're going to fully release and observe how the tension that is created is now dissipating. You're releasing it. And we're going to move back into those 3 deep breaths again. So remaining in that comfortable position. You're going to breathe in very deeply, draw in as much breath as you can, feel the expansion, and then exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in again, drawing in as much breath as you can, feeling the expansion, and then exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then one final breath, breathing in and fully exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So next from here, we're going to move into your shoulders. So you're going to shrug your shoulders up, feel the tension in your neck and your shoulders, and then you're going to release and relax, relax, relax. Okay, again, observe the tension that was felt, and then observe the releasing, the dissipating of the tension, and you're going to go back to your 3 calm breaths. You can go through the full body, so moving all the way down, or if you like, maybe not having so much time, you can focus perhaps on some of the areas where you yourself know that you hold a lot of tension with your body, and just observing those 2 sides of feeling all the tension and then just allowing it to release. Sometimes through the guided breathing, I like to have people think about, as you're releasing through the out breath, through the exhalation, you're actually just observing and feeling all of that tension also moving out of your body with the breath. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the final exercise, and this is a bedtime journaling activity, which is paired with some alternate nostril breathing. Okay, so again, bringing yourself into a comfortable position, you're just going to set your fingers. Okay, and so you'll start by just closing off one of the nostrils, and you're going to take a breath in and a breath out, and then you'll switch sides, taking a breath in and exhaling. And you'll continue to go side to side, breathing in and out through through the one nostril before moving to the next. This is going to slow the breath down You are focused on the pattern of the breathing, maintaining the position, and you will certainly find a sense of peace and calm coming over you. So just observe that. Observe the sensations. If you observe that perhaps, the breath maybe is not flowing the way it is on the other side. These are just observations, nothing to take judgment of, nothing to allow, any anxiety or anything to come. We're just observing what is in the present moment. You can observe your thoughts as well, if anything is coming to the mind. And just again, with your out breath, think about allowing yourself to release any tension and thoughts that just don't serve you today. Okay. And after that, you will take hold of your journal and you're going to write down 3 things that just went really well for you today. Okay. Anything big or small, perhaps one of them is just that you scheduled in your mindfulness activity. 3 things that went really, really well. And we're going to do this with intention that after you completed your journaling, set the journal aside, you're going to lie down and get ready to go to sleep. But we want to keep the mind just focused with gratitude, with peace, and with positivity that was presented, all the opportunities and experiences that were presented to you this day. And so we're closing out our day, in a positive, peaceful, and grateful manner. So let's check in right now, just running through some of those activities. How are you feeling? Do you feel any type of shift? Do you feel any type of shift in your stress and anxiety now versus even when we began running through some of these activities? How do you feel in your body, allowing yourself some time to just breathe and be still? So you can go ahead and think about utilizing a rating scale here. So 1 being high level of stress and anxiety, a high level of activation in your body, heart racing, and 10 being more of a mindful, present, and calm, relaxed state. And I want you to just give a rating for yourself right now in this moment and see where you lie. And this is an excellent rating scale that you could do even before and after initiating one of these particular interventions or activities, and just take note on your progress overall over time. The idea, again, with these mindfulness-based activities is that it is done like a program, like a schedule every day. And I like to say it's almost like building up your mindfulness muscle. So a great kind of thought is, or comparison or metaphor is that you're not necessarily going to wake up one day without any training and go out and run a marathon. Okay. We have the ultimate goal of running the marathon, but that needs to be broken down into steps and activities and weeks of training so that once we get to the actual race day, we're well prepared to succeed and complete the race. And that's really how we want to look at these mindfulness-based cognitive behavioral therapy activities, that we are strengthening our mindfulness muscle day after day to be able to, just have more perseverance, more peace, and the skills that we need to be successful when facing some maybe stress or anxiety arising situations. So I really do hope that you will incorporate some or all of these interventions in your daily mindfulness practice, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Stephanie, and I will see you guys soon.